Recently, there was an interview on Extreme's channel with Shadow developer Yannis Weinbach, and to be honest, the interview was kinda boring, with most of the information being information we already knew, except for a couple of tidbits that were dropped that I wanted to talk about. I hear many people say that Shadow is too expensive, or will they ever lower their price? And guys, the answer is no. I don't ever see it being lowered, at least not now. The reason Shadow went bankrupt in the first place was because their prices were too low to begin with, and Yannis talks about that here.
There was absolutely no way to make profit with this kind of pricing. It was like totally impossible.
I know our audience is pretty young, as you can see here, and there's probably a lot of you that might not know exactly how much these cloud systems and services cost, so I wanted to break down some of the information shared here. The first major point I wanted to cover is how much cloud storage actually costs.
And the storage cost a lot.
A lot, he says. If you have dealt with any other cloud PC rental services, you'll know that the cloud storage is quite the extra fee, especially if you want a good amount of it. Now imagine building your own custom version of it built for your own custom cloud platform. Yeah, it's expensive. Now the second point is that they're paying Windows licenses.
Point is also that we're actually paying Windows license, whereas I don't know if the others are.
100 euros out the gate. But if that's accurate, they're already losing money if you don't subscribe for several months. Every other cloud PC rental service is moving to Linux. Consider yourself lucky. The third major point that Yannis drops is the estimate of how much this upgrade is costing them.
100 millions for us.
What?
About 100 million euros. Sounds crazy, right? Keep this number in mind as I get into the fourth point. Now that fourth major point for me is that Yannis gives us a ballpark of how many users Shadow actually has.
20,000 computers available.
About 20,000. Now what I'm getting at is why Shadow is going with an RTX 3070 equivalent and not something higher. It's not because they didn't want to upgrade to an RTX 3080, but it's because they can't afford the hardware for this amount of users. Take a look at what I mean. Now I truly believe they're going with the RTX A4000 as their power upgrade NVIDIA GPU. Why? Because it costs a ton less than the A5000 and the A6000, in which the A6000 would be equivalent to the RTX 3080. Now if any of you have used Paperspace, you'll know the price of the A4000 versus the A6000 is drastically different. The new Air GPU tier with the A4000 is also being touted as the equivalent to the RTX 3070, as you can see here. I would almost put money on that Shadow is going with the A4000, especially if Air GPU considers it similar to the 3070. So let's do some math here. The RTX A4000 cost around, let's say, $1,200. And I'm guessing Shadow got a deal for buying so many, so let's say about 1,000 per card. Let's also say about half of the Shadow users get the power upgrade. That's $10 million. That doesn't include anything else, not the CPUs, the RAM, the hard drives, server space, and data centers, anything else. So if what Yannis is saying is true about this upgrade costing 100 million, now price the upgrade at $45 a month per user, they would be making 900,000 a month if every Shadow user upgraded. That's 10,800,000 a year. It would take just over 9 years to make up for this upgrade alone. And that's if everyone upgraded. And I definitely don't expect that to happen. People, Shadow is barely making anything off this deal. This is probably a big reason why they're offering business PCs now. Cloud computing is extremely expensive. This industry is going to have to become more commonplace in order for them to lower the price if they ever do. Can you imagine the price if they went with an RTX A6000? Yikes! This is purely a cost-saving move. I hope you enjoyed this very basic breakdown of how much cloud computing hardware can cost. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and what cloud gaming topic you want us to talk about next. So make sure you subscribe to get the latest on everything cloud gaming at the only place where you can do battle in gaming heaven, Cloud Gaming Battle. This is the Black Knight, saving my money to get some other cloud gaming services.